sometime soon. The price scale for that will be sort of the next step that will come in about 5 years. Is the stationary stuff. It's big as in 100 kilowatts, kilowatt units. There are prototypes for all of them, but they are not long lasting enough. There's no fundamental understanding of all the processing happening in the stack. Obviously, you don't only have one cell, but you have hundreds of them, and then one of them break. You have no way of knowing why or how and all of that things. So with cars, it will be a while, but with everything else, it will be soon.
I remember a few years ago, I think 7 years ago, 5 years ago, we had buses here in Romania, and they are producing fuel cells. Because they said that the product output was water. They had this hydrogen stuff, SFR or something like that. There was so many problems.
Who was that?
With busy friends, do you remember those? Or?
I remember.
Yeah, and then suddenly they disappeared.
You talking buses?
Yeah, buses.
Yeah. Okay.
That was water, so probably there are fuel cells and stuff.
Probably they are the only well, the gasoline produces water too. It's one of the main products actually, but
no, I don't see
yes. And then it's probably fuel cells. It's Ballot, the company here in Vancouver, is producing 10 fuel cells, and they're working together with Cytero buses to produce those hydrogen buses. They are massive in Europe, massive as in 100 buses all over Europe. So. Oh yeah, definitely. They have demo models where they're running around, even on normal bus lines. One of the things still is, where do we get hydrogen from? So you can either use ethanol and then produce hydrogen with your reformer while you drive around, or you do it all on some sites. And then we have to still produce these fueling stations. So we have, I think in BC, for the 2010 Olympics, we're producing the hydrogen highway. So we just had Harper and Capital coming over and announcing $100 billion, which I won't see anything from, unfortunately. It will be for the Hydrogen Fuel Cell Canada, which are developing a hydrogen highway from here to Whistler, where they have X amount of fueling stations. We have one already installed at the IFCI. You can see that it just looks like a normal petrol station, but instead of gasoline, they have hydrogen. The nozzle is all sealed to your car. Yeah, but that's there, and they are there, and they are being developed. And
these buses,
I don't know what they are.
These buses,
I didn't know they had them
from. Is it from the water that they put up the top, and there's a huge reservoir?
Oh yeah, the huge reservoir is it's two things. It's mainly electrical appliances and all the testing equipment, because it's demo buses. There's so much testing in there, and it's hydrogen storage. Hydrogen, as I said before, is huge. Yeah, you have to compress it just to get any kind of energy density out of it, and then still you have huge tanks. You just have enough to have the bus going around. I drove a car in just a normal Ford or something that we have here. They go for about 400 kilometers before they have to refuel and use about 3 liters of hydrogen on the way. So, and that's why it's so big. And 3 liters of hydrogen it's like this tank in the car. And that's compressed at 800 bars.
So there's about hydrogen.
Yeah, but not the whole thing. Most of it is electrical.
So that means if that bus falls over, and let's say crashes the reservoir, and have a big explosion.
We want one of the things that many people talk to me like, hey, Hindenburg, and I'm like, oh my god, that's technology that's, I don't know, 50, 80 years outdated. Whatever they use the conductive paints and all the structural metals that were ignitable, all those kind of things. Of course, if you use an emission source close to hydrogen, it will ignite. If you look at the people who died in that accident, all the people that jumped out of the thing died. And everybody who rode the balloon down, they all survived. So there's about 13 people that died because they jumped out, and then nobody died. All the guys that actually rode the Hindenburg down, nobody knows that, because you just see a big explosion. It's very dangerous. Now, I don't say it's not dangerous, but these cars are being tested. Yeah, you dump them from about 50 meters, let them blow up, you shoot on the cars. I don't know, it's being done for whatever reason, and then see what happens. You burn the car, trying to get rid of trying to ignite the hydrogen. And what usually happens is that there's, if it gets so hot, there's pressure release, and if that ignites, you have one flame that is very localized and very hot, and that's it, and then it's out. Petrol is much more dangerous, and the ignition point of petrol is lower than the one of hydrogen. Nobody knows that. If petrol flows, it flows all over the place. If you see a car that burned the petrol, there's nothing left. It's just the oxidized frame. If you see a hydrogen car that burned, the ones that I've seen, they just have burned in the backside, and that's it. It didn't burn down. Because as soon as the gas is empty, it happens pretty fast. That's it. So I would consider hydrogen much safer. It's just something that we have in our minds. And it's something like, if you tell people, okay, you will have something that's a chemical plant right next to your house that is toxic, cancerogenious, will make lots of noise, stinks pretty badly, and you will have that chemical plant right next to your house. Everybody's like, I don't want that. And then the next day they come and tell you, hey, we're going to make a petrol station right next to us. Okay, no problem. We need petrol stations. And it's just the public perception of what is dangerous and what is not, and how you bring it to people's minds. And I did one test, and it's the last thing for people's sake. When they ask people about the DHMO effect, has anybody ever heard of that? Okay, they ask, okay, there's the dihydrogen monoxide. It's a very dangerous element, and we will, it's the main cause of acid rain. It's the main